Today is a very auspicious day. In Slovenia, Mahadvadashi. It is even more powerful than Ekadashi, so we have to observe it very carefully. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Madhavatiti Bhakti Janani. It is like a mother of devotion, these special days. If you will observe, then you will get devotion. And the next line, this next verse, he's saying, Gaura Amar Je Savasthanes, Koralo Brahmana Range, Se Savasthana Heri Boyame Pranai Bhakata Sange. This is what we are doing by book. Gaura Amar Se Savasthan, Koralo Brahmana. All the holy places of my Gauranga Mahaprabhu. I will wander there. I will see all those places in association with loving devotees. Gaura Amar Je Savasthane Koralo Brahmana Range. I will happily I will wander to those places. Se Savasthana Heri Boyami. I will see all those places. Pranai Bhakata Sangha, in association with loving devotees. So we are continuing our Parikrama. Yesterday we heard how Markandeya Rishi got instructions from Surabhi and worshipped the Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and he asked, what will happen with my aprarabdha and prarabdha karma? Then she said, everything will be destroyed by worshipping Gauranga, and you will get eternal devotion to him. So, chapter 9. All glories to Sri Gaurachandra, all glories to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Sri Gadadhar Pandit, all glories to Srivas Pandit and the other devotees. All glories to the residence of the devotees, the topmost, Sri Navadwip Dham. The next morning, Sriman Nityananda Prabhu proceeded onwards, intoxicated by singing Sri Gaura's names. The devotees walking with him were also drowning in prema and were thus distributing supreme bliss. When they arrived in Navadwip, Sriman Nityananda Prabhu smiled and said, this is the village of Majida. Here the 7 sages, Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulaha, Kratu, Pulaste and Vashishta, happily rested and worshipped Sri Gaurachandra. You will find their biographies in Gurudev's Puranik Charitavali. Our Mats Parikrama from Harihar Kshetra, that is the last place, we bow down to direction of Navadwip, but not physically going there, because nowadays nothing is to be seen there, and it will take more time, because in Harihar Kshetra usually it is already almost night, so then devotees they come back. In Satya Yuga, those sages heard Sri Gaura Hari's glories from their father Brahma. Hearing about Sri Gaura's glories, they became enchanted and begged Brahma to give them the eternal treasure of Gaur Prem. The four-headed Sri Brahma became pleased by hearing their appeal and said, all of you go to Navadwip Dham and sing the glories of Sri Gaura Hari. You will easily attain Prem. One who has gained the mercy of the Dham will attain the association of saintly personalities as a result. This is the point. By continuously performing bhajan in the association of sadhus, one will dive deep into Krishna Prema. To be engrossed in Prema is a matter of supreme joy. Supreme joy. When you get this type of joy, you cannot be interested in anything else. You will see everything, even the bliss of impersonal liberation will be like a hell for you, because no service of Krishna. One whose heart is attached to Sri Navadwip Dham will attain residence in Braja. To chant Sri Gaura Hari's name while staying in the transcendental holy abode of Sri Navadwip is the sadhu's only desire. The 7 sages thoroughly understood their father's instruction and came to this place. They chanted Hari's name, danced and loudly sang of the glories of Sri Gaura Hari, praying for the attainment of Prema. As they chanted, they began to pray, O Gaura Hari, please have mercy on us by finally giving us your darshan. Just once. We have followed many varieties of religious paths and thereby committed offenses, but now we have made bhakti the sole aim and object of our lives. In this way, the sages underwent austerities and worshipped Sri Gaura Hari with exclusive faith in bhakti. They completely gave up eating and sleeping and just chanted his name. One day at noon, the supremely compassionate Sri Gaura Hari appeared with the rest of the Panchatattva and gave his darshan to the sages. The Lord's divine body was glowing like 100 of suns shining together. This form of his attracted even the minds of the yogis. How astonishing was Sriman Mahaprabhu's beautiful golden form. Around his neck he wore a garland of forest flowers. The rays shining forth from his ornaments illuminated the 10 directions. Sriman Mahaprabhu's glance was most beautiful and his hair was long and curly. A spot of sandalwood pulp decorated his forehead. He wore a dhoti folded in 3 places, and his chest was beautifully adorned with the sacred thread. A garland of malika flowers dangled gracefully from his neck. They were all enchanted upon seeing Mahaprabhu's form and requested him thus, O Lord, we have now taken shelter at your lotus feet. Mercifully grant us the wealth of bhakti. Sri Gaura Hari heard their prayer and kindly replied, Please listen, O sages, abandon all other desires except one. Service to Sri Krishna. Throw off the shackles of jnana and karma and only cultivate devotion to Sri Krishna. Within a short time, I will unfold my pastimes in Nadia. At that time, all of you will be able to behold my pastimes of chanting the holy names of the Lord. For now, I order you, however, to keep all of these topics confidential. Go to Kumarhata and worship Sri Krishna at the ghats you have constructed. After Sri Gaura Hari disappeared from their vision, the 7 sages went to Sri Kumarhata. Look, even now these 7 beautiful hillocks stand as testimony to their worship. These 7 hillocks appear just like the constellation of the 7 sages in the sky. Just by living here, one can attain Sri Gaura Hari without even following any rules and regulations. Niyam, yam. Not the no vaidi, but niyam, yam of that Shastra for ethical life, because automatically that will happen. Niyam means like no stealing, no lying, that basic ethical principles. If one is tasting devotion to Krishna, then automatically he has no desire for this. O Jiva, the river you see flowing in the southern direction is the supremely sacred Gomati. Close by is Naimisharanya. In the Kali Yuga of the previous Kalpa, when the influence of Kali became excessive, Shaunak and other sages joyfully heard the Gaur Bhagavat from Sutta Goswami, because in this kalpa they are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. But in previous kalpa, one day before, they were hearing Gaur Bhagavat. One day of Brahma before. All the miseries of that person who studies the Puranas in this place during the month of Kartik are vanquished. He becomes absorbed in Sri Gaura Hari's pastimes and easily attains Braja. Once Panchanan, that is Lord Shiva, came here with his devotees, riding on Lord Brahma's swan carrier, having given up his own carrier Nandi, the bull. He heard Sri Gaura Hari's pastimes recited just as they are described in the Puranas. The followers of Lord Shiva from Kashi surrounded Panchanan Shiva. They continuously sang Sri Gaura Hari's name, danced and showered flowers on Lord Shiva. Upon hearing these words of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Ashta Sattvic Bhav, means 8 ecstatical symptoms, arose in the heart of Sri Jiva, and he began rolling in the dust of that place. Relishing the influence of that holy place, he was not able to maintain his composure. The devotees spent the day here together with Sri Nitai Chand. The next day, they all proceeded onwards for darshan of Sri Pushkara. That person means Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in whose heart the worship of Sri Jannava Devi and Sri Nityananda Prabhu is always manifest, is singing of the glories of Sri Nadia and the sweetness of the devotees, being full of affection. One who is a realized soul, in whose heart these things are manifested, he can write such transcendental literature out of compassion for all conditioned souls. All glories to Sri Gaura Hari, along with Sri Nityananda Prabhu, next chapter, and Sri Advaita Acharya. All glories to Gadadhar Pandit, all glories to Srivas Pandit. All glories to Sri Navadwip Dham, the embodiment of pure Prema Bhakti. All glories to the names of Sri Gaur and Sri Nityananda Prabhu. O souls of Kali Yuga, please listen. Give up karma, gyan, dharma, adharma, everything. Dharma here means varna, ashram dharma. Adharma means sin. And only perform bhajan of Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. O brothers, the ocean of mercy, Sri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu, seeing your endeavor, will freely, without doubt, bestow upon you the bliss of Braja. When the morning arrived, Sri Nityananda Prabhu took Sri Jiva with him and they continued their Dham Parikrama. Sri Nityananda Prabhu said, O Jiva, look at this delightful village. Even though currently everyone calls it Brahmanapura, according to the scriptures, its name is Brahmana Pushkara. The secret of this place is most confidential. In Satya Yuga, a Brahmana named Divadas renounced his home and went on a pilgrimage to all holy places. Even though Pushkara Tirtha was very dear to him, while wandering one day he arrived in Sri Navadwip Dham. In this very place he had a dream one night in which someone told him, O Bipra, means Brahman, reside here and you will attain the eternal treasure, Krishna Prema. Divadas built a hut and stayed here until his old age. In his old age, when he could not walk anymore, a strong desire to behold Pushkara came in his mind. Being unable to move, the Brahmana began to lament, Alas, alas, now I will not be able to see the holy abode of Pushkara. Pushkara Raja, out of mercy, came before Divadas in the form of a Brahmana, holy place personified, this Pushkara Raja, but in the form of Brahman. The Brahmana said to Divadas, "Do not cry, but one time in the delightful pond in front of you, and Pushkara Tirtha will manifest directly before you." After hearing his words, Divadas bathed in that kunda, and he received transcendental eyes, by which he could behold Pushkara Tirtha. Divadas wept continuously. He said to Pushkara Tirtha, "For my sake you had to take such great trouble." Pushkara replied, "Listen, O fortunate Brahman, I have not come from afar. I always reside right here in this place. This Navadwip Dham consists of all holy places. All the holy places reside here to serve Sri Navadwip Dham. Although a manifestation of my form is in West, that is in Rajasthan, in India, I personally reside at this place eternally. The benefit one derives by bathing 100 times in the Pushkara Tirtha that is situated in the West is achieved by bathing here just once. Therefore, whoever leaves Sri Navadwip Dham with the desire to visit any other holy place is an extremely foolish villain. If someone attains the result of traveling to all other holy places, he attains residence in Sri Navadwip Dham. Just see that raised area which resembles a market. Kurukshetra and Brahmavarta are present here. The rivers Saraswati and Drishadvati flow on its two sides. They are beautiful and give the results of piety. O Bipra, I am revealing to you a very confidential topic. Soon, supreme happiness will manifest here. Sri Gaura Sundar will appear at Mayapur in the house of Mother Sachi, and he will freely distribute Krishna Prema amongst ordinary folk. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, intoxicated in Sankirtan Ras, will dance in all these places together with his devotees. Mahaprabhu will perform Sankirtan together with his associates from all of his avatars. The whole universe will be drowned in a flood of prema. All except those who indulge in false logic will receive this Mahaprema, that is worldly logic. If Supreme Lord has a form, then he is limited. If Supreme Lord has a form, he cannot be present everywhere. That is false logic. It is worldly logic. It has nothing to do with Achintya Shakti of Supreme Lord. He can do whatever he likes. He is beyond the comprehension of these worldly senses, and he is not limited by these things. So only one who is fortunate, who gathers enough Sukriti, then faith awakens, then from sadhus he will hear about Krishna, from realized sadhus. Then gradually he can realize. So this false logic is an obstacle. You will find Mayavadis, they are Buddhists, they have false logic, and Mayavadis, they are even worse because they are interpreting Shastra with false logic. That is why Vyasadeva, out of compassion, he explained the meaning of Shastra in Vedanta Sutra by giving proper logic, that which follows Shastra. If one is fortunate, then he will see the truth and he will truth in it and will practice, and then he will realize. So false logic is obstacle. O Divadas, so you will find Jiva Goswami on the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wrote Satsandarbha 6 theses. There he is giving right logic and refuting false logic with all scriptural evidences. O Divadas, whoever resides with firm faith in this Dham will attain the lotus feet of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. A rogue will not be able to develop taste for Sri Harinam even if he worships Sri Krishna for millions of years. But if he worships Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, his wicked mentality will quickly vanish, and very soon he will attain Sri Radha Krishna in Braja Dham. Here. Koti Koti Varshadash Krishnavan Tatapina Ratina Pai Durjan, rogue. That person will attain his spiritual form and the shelter of the maidens of Braja. He will receive the qualification to serve the divine couple in the forest bowers. Nijo Siddha Deho Pai Sokir Ashroy Nijo Kunjo Shri Jugala Seva Tar Hoy. O Bipra, stay here and perform bhajan, and you will attain darshan of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu with his associates. Saying this, Tirtharaj, Pushkara, departed, but the Brahmana heard an aerial voice. Very soon the blessed age of Kali is coming. O Bipra, at that time you will take birth and become immersed in the prema like rasa of Sri Gaura's Kirtan. Hearing this, Divadas, freed from all worries, stayed on the banks of this kunda, performing bhajan. This is what we have to do bhajan, because this world is not good with all these false egos, false interests, and all the time fighting. So we have to do bhajan and make this human life successful by getting Krishna Prem. That is the purpose. After narrating to Sri Jiva all these histories from the Puranas, Sri Nityananda Prabhu entered Uchahata, which is actually Kurukshetra. Sri Nityananda Prabhu said, all the demigods came here along with Kurukshetra Tirtha. All the holy places that are in Brahmavarta and Kurukshetra came to reside here. Pritudak and all other holy places reside here and at ease serve Sri Navadwip Dham. The result one gets by residing in Kurukshetra for 100 years is obtained by staying here for only one night. Sri Nityananda Prabhu said, demigods came to reside here. They built a raised platform nearby and discussed with each other topics related to Sri Gaura. From that time on, this place became known as Hatadanga. Here, explanation. A market, that is, a place where the trade of hearing and speaking of Sri Gaur Katha always goes on. Shravan Kirtan, trade. A person, if you are very much into business, then do this business. You speak about Krishna or Gaura and hear about. In this way you have exchange. You sing the glories of Gaura and hear the glories of Gaura. And you will get much profit. A person who has darshan of this place will attain unlimited prem. This is also one of the boundaries of Sri Navadwip. Come, let us now cross the Bhagirathi. After crossing the Bhagirathi, Sri Nityananda Prabhu reached Koladwip around noon. It seemed like the sun had just risen there. While walking along the path of Kulia Pahara, Sri Nitai Chand said to Sri Jiva, "The sequence in which we are performing Parikrama by first crossing Ganga is the authentic sequence of Parikrama. By following this sequence, one will attain the actual result of Parikrama." One day at sunset, Sri Chaitanya, because the Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, all these devotional forums, they are in this order, but first you have to be surrendered. That I am of Krishna, otherwise you will do these devotional forums for some your own interest. So first, Parikrama is Antardvip, Atma Nivedan. I am of Krishna. Everything is for him. Then you do Shravam, Kirtan, all this. Then you will get Prem. One day at sunset, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with the intention of delivering the Kazi, went from Mayapur with thousands of his associates in a huge Nagar Sankirtan, Harinam, some say Harinam, Nagar Sankirtan, that was accompanied by 14 mridangas. That night became as long as one night of Lord Brahma. In this way, Sriman Mahaprabhu began to wander throughout his Sri Navadwip Dham. Every Ekadashi after that, my Lord and the devotees went on Nagar Sankirtan, wandering throughout Navadwip. By his own desire, Sriman Mahaprabhu sometimes wandered over 5 kroshas of Sri Antardvip, and sometimes he wandered for 8 kroshas. When he wandered for 5 kroshas, he started from his house for Barakona Ghat, then went to Balal Dirgika and to Sridhar's house. From the house of Sridhar, he would go to the border of Antardvip. In this way, he easily completed the 5 kroshas Parikrama. For 8 kroshas Parikrama, he would start from Simulia and go to the house of the Kazi. After talking to Sridhar, he would go to Garigacha, means Godrum, and from there he would arrive in Majida, that is Madhyadvip. Next, he would cross the Bhagirathi and visit the places called Paradanga and Chinnadanga, situated on the other bank of the Ganga. Then he would come back across the Ganga and return home after completing the 8 kroshas Parikrama. The 16 kroshas Parikrama is considered to be the complete Parikrama. Mahaprabhu feels satisfied after performing this Parikrama. O Jiva, I am taking you on that same 16 kroshas Parikrama. No other Parikrama is considered equal to it. By performing this Parikrama, you will have darshan of the 12 forests in the area of Vrindavan, 16 kroshas. This Parikrama is completed within 9 nights and is therefore also called Navaratra in the scriptures. The Parikrama of 5 kroshas is completed in 1 day, and the 8 kroshas Parikrama in 3 nights. One should complete this Parikrama by spending the first night in Mayapur, the second in Godrum, and the third on the banks of the Ganga. That side. Hearing about the real nature of Parikrama, Sri Jiva Mahashaya became absorbed in Prema for a long time. Desiring to attain the cooling shade of Sri Nityananda Prabhu's and Sri Jannava Devi's lotus feet, This destitute and lowly person, Sri Bhaktivinoda, describes the glories of Nadia. Next chapter. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Brinda, Jai Jai Gaura Bhumi Sarva Bhumi Sar, Jatanam Soho Shri Chaitanya Avatar. Nityananda Prabhu bole, Shuno Sarva Jan, Panchabeni Rupe Ganga, Hetai Milon. All glories to Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Shri Nityananda Prabhu. All glories to Shri Advaita Acharya Prabhu. All glories to Shrivas and other devotees of Shri Gaura. All glories to Gaura Bhumi, the essence of all other holy places. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descended here together with the holy name of Shri Hari. Here it is Gaura, means Mahaprabhu's Bhumi, this Navadwip Dham, this land. Shri Nityananda Prabhu said, everyone listen, this is Panchaveni, where 5 rivers join with the Ganga. The Bhagirathi Ganga converges here with Mandakini and Alakananda. River Saraswati flows here in a concealed way. The Jamuna comes from the western side together with Bhogavati, and with them is Manasa Ganga, flowing with a strong current. The sages call this place Mahaprayag, because here they performed millions upon millions of sacrifices together with Lord Brahma. The glory of this place, known as Brahma Satra, is incomparable. By taking bath here, one will never have to take birth again. One devotee from Brazil, I was with him during one Navadwip Parikrama. He was asking, where is this place? Panchaveni. Because during Parikrama, we don't hear. He said, where is this? Because if one will take bath here, one will never have to take birth again. He became very interested. Where is this place? Who can describe the glory of this place? All other holy places are like dried up rivers in comparison. Anyone who leaves his body in the water, on the land, or in the air as a bird of this place will attain Sri Golok Vrindavan. So the devotee was very interested to know. But the point is, we go where our devotees, they take us, and loudly we have to chant Gaur Nityananda's name, then there is automatically no rebirth. You will get Krishna Prem. This place on the banks of the Ganga is renowned as Kulia Pahara because it resembles a mountain. Pahar means mountain. In the scriptures, you will find in Vrindavan, Alta Pahari. In the scriptures, this place is called Sri Koladvip. Please hear a narration about this place dating back from Satya Yuga. There was once a Brahmana boy named Vasudev who always used to serve Sri Varahadev. Daily, after his worship of the Sri Varahaditi, Vasudev would pray to him, O Prabhu, please be merciful to me, give me your darshan, and thus make my eyes and life successful. Praying like this, the Brahmana boy cried and rolled in the dust of that place, thinking, if my Lord does not give me his darshan, my life will go in vain. After some days, Sri Varahadev mercifully revealed himself to Vasudev in his form of Koladev. Sri Varahadev's divine form was decorated with many jewel-studded ornaments. His lotus feet neck, nose, face, eyes, and all other bodily parts were enchanting to the mind. His divine body was as tall as a mountain. Upon seeing the Lord, the Vipra considered himself greatly fortunate. The Brahmana boy fell to the ground. Restless, he rolled in the dust of Sri Koladev's lotus feet and began to cry. Seeing the devotion of the Brahmana boy, Sri Varahadev spoke the following sweet words. O Vasudev, you are my devotee. I am very satisfied with your worship. At the beginning of Kali Yuga, I will display my pastimes here in Sri Navadwip. Listen carefully to my words. There is no place in the three worlds equal to Sri Navadwip Dham. Even though this abode is very dear to me, it now remains hidden. It is also the verdict of all scriptures that Brahmavarta and all other holy places are present here. When I appeared in Brahma's sacrifice, I killed Hiranyaksha by tearing his body with my tusk. I have now appeared before you at that place in this same pious land. We heard Brahma could not find solution how I can rescue this earth. So he was thinking very heavily, but could not come to any proper solution. Then ultimately he surrendered to Supreme Lord. Then immediately solution came. Baraha, Bhagavan, appeared from his own nostril and became very big and solved. So this is the only way how we can find solution. We have to take absolute shelter of Supreme Lord, then do what he advises. Then we can solve all problems. Otherwise, by our own thinking, we will only increase problems. Because we are not seeing the whole picture and what is the real requirement, and we don't see. But we are very puffed up. We think, no, I know what is the solution. So as long as that arrogance is there, we will have to get lessons. So Gurudev told, you give up your arrogance that you can know by your own effort and take absolute shelter of Guru. Then you will get proper solution. All the holy places are present here to serve Sri Navadwip. By residing in Sri Navadwip, one resides in all other holy places. You are fortunate because you have served me here in Navadwip. You will also take birth here at the time of Sri Gaurahari's manifest pastimes. You will easily behold Maha Sankirtan as well as Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu's unprecedented form. Saying this, Sri Varahadev disappeared from there. Just then, the Vipra heard an aerial voice saying, please scrutinize scriptural evidences to properly understand the true nature of Sriman Mahaprabhu. Vasudev was a great scholar. Therefore, after carefully contemplating what was written in the scriptures, he concluded that at the beginning of Kali Yuga, during the reign of Vaivasvata Manu, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu would manifest his pastimes in Sri Navadwip. Something I want to read. He thought, in the scriptures, the sages have indicated this tattva in a hidden way. Only an intelligent person can understand this tattva. 1 second. You will find in Mundaka Upanishad this verse, Yada pashyate rukmavarnam Kartaram Isham Purusham Brahma Yonim Tadavid Van Punya Pape Viduya Niranjanah Paramam Samyam Upaiti. Upanishad. When the perceiver sees the Lord, Isham, a golden person, that is Rukma Varnam, the source of Brahma, the cause of the universe, that person, full of knowledge, washed of piety and sin, both piety and sin has to be washed, spotless, attains a form similar to the Lord's. You will get the transcendental form for his service. So here, the Vasudev Vipra, by the grace of Barahadev, because that time it was opened, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur also, he and Baladev Vidyabhushan and those who are blessed by Gauranga Mahaprabhu, they saw here is golden person. Golden person. But in Ramanuja's commentary, here they translate as shining person. It can mean both. Rukma means like golden or shining. So Ramanuja, because he had to do that job, internally he was worshipping Gauranga, but Gauranga Mahaprabhu said, don't preach now about me, you preach on the Asya platform. So when one will see that shining Supreme Lord, Narayan or other, then he will be washed of all sin and he will get the transcendental form. But here Vasudev Vipra and Bhaktivinoda Thakur and our Acharyas, they said here means the golden person, means Gauranga Mahaprabhu. When you see him, that is one hidden scriptural evidence just for taste I gave you. There are many others in Vishnu Sahasranam, in Bhagavatam, there are in a hidden way. But those who get that grace, they can detect. So he taught this Vasudeva. In the scriptures, the sages have indicated this tattva in a hidden way. Only an intelligent person can understand this tattva, means one who will be blessed by Gauranga. Ramanuja also, when he got darshan, later we will hear here, he also, later he understood, oh, it was already there in scripture, but I could not detect. Now by your grace I can see. When Sriman Mahaprabhu's pastimes manifest, this tattva will also be revealed. For now, however, it should be kept a secret. In this way, the Brahmana boy got a hint of that secret truth. In great ecstasy, the Brahmana began Sankirtan and continuously sang the name of Sri Gaurahari in his mind. When he beheld the mountain-like divine form of Kuladev, the intelligent Vasudev thought, surely this place is the mountain-like Kuladvip as described in the scriptures. From that time, everyone began to call this place Kuladvip Parvat. Sri Nityananda Prabhu said, O Jiva, the devotees know this place as Giriraj Govardhan in Sri Vrindavan, the place of eternal transcendental pastimes. There, when we go to Kuladip, that will be day after tomorrow. Tomorrow is rest day in our Mats Parikrama, but they will go to Gopinath Gauriya Mat to receive prasad, noontime, feast prasad. Because Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosai Maharaj, he was for many years, 30 years, he was staying in our mat and doing parikrama with our mat. Then when he came out to make Gopinath Gauriya Math, then at the beginning they did not yet start Parikrama, so he started making this as a service to Vaishnavas of Chaitanya Gauriya Math who are doing Parikrama. Every year he used to invite them all for taking prasad. Now Srila Bodhayan Maharaj is also continuing this seva. So rest they and their prasad. Only Chaitanya Gauriya Math. They are. And then day after tomorrow, they will go Koladvip and these places which we are hearing now. So there in Koladvip, there is that Paramatala Devi, Kali, and Devananda Gauriya Math of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. There he installed Koladev, means Varahadev, on the altar. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj's mat is also there. And Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj's mat now also. Keshav Gauriya Math, his samadhi, that is all that Govardhan in Vrindavan. Please take darshan of Sri Bahulavan, situated to the north of this place. Just see, the splendor of Bahulavan shines in all directions. On this Koladvip, also that Mahaprabhu, Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu, his hands are like this. You come, I'm accepting you. That was worshipped by Vishnu Priya Devi. That Mahaprabhu is there in Koladvip. That you have to visit to see how merciful Gauranga is. And very life-size deity, very beautiful, and you will get, Pujari will give the sandals of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on your head. If you go the side, then you can get. Please take darshan of Sri Bahulavan, situated to the north of this place. Just see, the splendor of Bahulavan shines in all directions. Because you see, generally you see Mahaprabhu either with one hand raised, Haribol, Haribol, or two hands raised like this. But this Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu is like this. You come, I will embrace you, I will accept you. O son of Ballabha, means Jiva Goswami, here the sequence of the 12 forests of Vrindavan is not the same. It is only according to the wish of Sriman Mahaprabhu that the sequence here is not the same. Only the Lord himself, who does as he pleases, knows the reason for this. One should have darshan of these places according to the way they are situated here. Because this inversion increases prema in a way that is unprecedented. Having gone on a little further, Sri Nityananda Prabhu said, O Jiva, behold this place known as Samudragara. O most learned one, just see. The two holy places, Dwarakapuri and Ganga Sagar, are both directly present here. We go to this place also. Very peaceful place. Once a king named Sri Samudra Singh reigned here. He was a great devotee of Sri Krishna. Apart from Lord Sri Krishna, he did not know anything else. At the time of the Pandavas' world conquest, Bhima Sen came here and besieged Samudragara with the might of his army. At that time, King Samudra Sen thought, Sri Krishna is the only master and the exclusive shelter of the Pandavas. If ever they get into danger, Sri Krishna, the Lord of the Yadus, will immediately hasten to save them. if I could somehow make Bhima fearful, he will call out in distress to Sri Krishna. Hearing his cry, Sri Hari will certainly bestow mercy upon him. Sri Krishna will then mercifully descend to Samudragara, the place of his servant, and I will easily be able to see his darkish blue form. Thinking like this, the king fully equipped his army and with elephants, horses and foot soldiers set out for battle. The king remembered Sri Krishna and began to shoot his arrows. The means is justified by the end. Afflicted by them, Bhima became much afraid. Seeing the impending catastrophe within his mind, Bhima called out to Sri Krishna. Krishna is residing in the heart of every living entity. He knows that his desire was good. That is why Krishna will bless him. Outwardly we may judge in a different way, but Krishna knows why he is doing this. Seeing the impending catastrophe within his mind, Bhima called out to Sri Krishna, O Sri Krishna, O my Lord, please protect this servant of yours by giving him shelter at your lotus feet. I am not able to endure this fight with Samudra Sen. If I am defeated, it will be a matter of great shame, and I will not be able to tolerate that humiliation. O Lord of the Pandavas, Sri Krishna, O merciful one, it is very shameful to be defeated. An astonishing incident took place. Although the merciful Sri Krishna appeared immediately on the battlefield upon hearing Bhima's pitiful call, no one except Sri Samudra Sen could see him. Why? Because he had that desire. Our Gurudev told, when you will desire him, you will get him. With perturbation of heart, desiring only him, nothing else, then you will get his darshan. Sri Samudra Sen saw the youthful Sri Krishna, whose bodily luster resembled that of a fresh rain cloud. The garland of forest flowers around Sri Krishna's neck shone like a pearl. His entire body was beautifully decorated with ornaments. He was dressed in yellow garments, and his bodily form was incomparably beautiful. When the king saw Sri Krishna's beauty, he fell, swooning with prema. When he regained his consciousness, he prayed, O Sri Krishna, you are the Lord of the universe, the savior of the fallen. Seeing my fallen condition, you have come to this place. The people of the entire world sing of your pastimes. Having heard your glories from them, I also developed a desire to see you. O merciful one, I did not want to leave Sri Navadwip to go elsewhere, but I also had a strong desire to see your captivating form. Therefore, I vowed that I would get your darshan when you appear here in Sri Navadwip. O merciful one, although to fulfill my vow, you have now appeared before me in Sri Navadwip as Sri Krishna, I have yet another hidden desire. Please appear before me as Sri Gaurango Mahaprabhu. Just then, the king saw before him the unparalleled sweetness of Sri Radha Krishna's pastimes. One is Pandava, that Krishna in Mathura and Dwaraka, but another is Radha Krishna in Vrindavan. He saw that also. He saw that while grazing the cows, Sri Krishna had come to Sri Kumudvan in the afternoon, where he then performed pastimes with the Sakis. In Kumudvan, one in Vrindavan, one Gokul branch is there. We went there with Gurudev, and there are some holy places. There is one pond. So Gurudev was reading from the book, and it was stated that there are many red lotuses there on this lake. Then when all finished that Harikatha like this, then few of us, we were sitting with Gurudev alone. Then he asked us, what is the meaning of these red lotus flowers on water? Then we said, we don't know. Then Guru said, these are the faces of the gopis. But we have no eligibility to see that. Gurudev can see, but he's by example, because we are on that platform, he wanted to make us understand that we are unable to see what he is saying. What is the meaning? They are in the water, and their faces are like red lotus flowers. So Kumudvan, the Sakis, Krishna performed pastimes with Sakis there. After a while, the king's vision of that pastime disappeared, and he now saw Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu absorbed in Sankirtan with his associates. They were dancing and chanting, filled with ecstatic emotions. His radiant golden body enchanted the mind and maddened the eyes, and it caused an upheaval in the heart. So that Krishna's pastimes with the gopis is same as Mahaprabhu's pastimes of Sankirtan with his associates. After seeing Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu's beauty, the king considered himself very fortunate. He offered many kinds of glorification at the Lord's lotus feet. After a few moments, this pastime disappeared, and feeling unhappy, the king began to weep. Because Sri Bhimasen was unable to see all these pastimes, he thought that maybe the king was afraid to fight. Thinking in this way, Bhima, the son of Pandu, exhibited increased strength. King Samudrasen, however, was now satisfied and just prayed to Bhimasen to accept his tribute. Taxes, all this. Yes, I am defeated. You take. Because already he got his desire fulfilled. He fought with him only for this reason, to get darshan of Krishna. Not to win, to conquer, but to get darshan of Krishna, his service. After accepting the tribute, Sri Bhimasen left for other places. The entire world says that Sri Bhimasen emerged victorious and thus sings his glories. Real, like Samudrasen, he was not interested in any of this worldly victory and fame and wealth and all this, because he got the jewel of Krishna. Then there is no other any desire. Sri Nityananda Prabhu said, "O Jiva, this divine pastime took place right here at Samudragara, which is situated on the southern border of Sri Navadwip. Even Lord Brahma does not know the glory of this place. The ocean comes here to take shelter of Sri Jannavi and worships the lotus feet of Sriman Mahaprabhu in the mood of a devotee. One day, Jannavi told the ocean, that is Ganga Sagar, where Ganga comes to the ocean, and in Puri, that ocean, he came here, because this place, Samudraga, is also Ganga Sagar. So he came. One day, Jannavi told the ocean, O ocean, very soon my Lord will stay on your shore at Jagannath Puri. The ocean replied, please listen to me, O Devi. The son of Mother Sachi never leaves Shri Navadvip Dham. Although he will stay for a while on my shore, in his real form he will remain in Navadvip. Shri Navadvip is the eternal abode of Shriman Mahaprabhu. The Vedas glorify both the manifest and unmanifest pastimes of this place. O beautiful one, I will stay here under your shelter and serve Shri Gaurahari in Shri Navadvip. Speaking thus, the ocean began to reside in Shri Navadvip. He meditated upon the eternal pastimes of Shri Gaurahari day and night. That is the Ganga Sagar in Navadvip. From Samudra Gara, Shri Nityananda Prabhu proceeded to Champakahata and took rest in Dvijavaninath's house. In the afternoon, while touring Champakahata, Shri Nityananda Prabhu said, listen, O son of Vallabha, Shri Jiva, previously there was a grove of Champaka flowers here. This place is a part of Khadiravan of Braja and appears most beautiful. Champaka Kanan, like a forest of Champaka. Champakalata Saki, one of the 8 Sakis. Lalita Bishaka, Champakalata. Chitra, Sudevi, Rangadevi, Induleka, Tungavidya. 8. So Champakalata is one of them. They are all expansions of Radharani, not different from her, but different mood, so to serve Krishna. Champakalata Saki daily used to pick champak flowers here and string them into garlands. She used the garlands in the service of Sri Radha Krishna. As the age of Kali progressed, gardeners came to this Champaka forest and collected flowers to their full satisfaction. They set up a market. In Kali Yuga, everything is turned into business immediately. Whatever is there, you immediately do this. So they set up a market here and began to sell Champaka flowers. And the people living in nearby villages began buying flowers from them. Champakalata took to make garland of Radha Krishna. That is proper usage of all flowers of this world. Since then, this place has been known as Shri Champakahata. The common name of this charming place is Champahati. Now it is called like Champahati. When Shri Lakshman Sen was the king of Nadia, Shri Jayadev, the crest jewel of poets, resided in Navadvip as his subject. Shri Jayadev, whose mind was fixed and peaceful, built a cottage on the banks of Ballab Dirghika and lived there with his wife Padma. While living there, he composed a hymn named Dashavatar. At some point, that hymn came in the hands of King Lakshman Sen. The king recited the hymn with great pleasure, and after the recitation, he inquired from his ministers about who had written this hymn. Govardhan Acharya, who was present in the assembly, replied, "The great poet Jayadev is the author." The king asked where the poet Jayadev lived. Govardhan replied that he lived right here in Navadvip, there near Ganga Nagar. On first day we were hearing. Our Parikrama goes on second day. Simantadvip Parikrama, we go passing that place of Jayadev Goswami. That was his first place in Navadvip. Hearing this, the king secretly found out where Shri Jayadev lived. At night, the king disguised himself as a Vaishnava and came to Sri Jayadev's cottage. He paid his respects and sat down to one side. Jayadev understood that the king had come dressed as a poor Vaishnava. After a short time, the king revealed his identity. He begged Jayadev to come to his palace. But the highly intelligent Jayadev was completely without material attachments and therefore did not agree to the house of a materialist. Sri Jayadev, a one-pointed devotee of Sri Krishna, said, "If you persist like this, I will leave your kingdom and go elsewhere." Association with materialists never bring any auspiciousness. I will cross the Ganga and go to Nilachal, means Puri. The king said, "O Prabhu, please hear my words. Please be merciful and do not leave Sri Navadwip. O Lord, please have mercy on me. Kindly make some arrangement by which your words come true and my desire be fulfilled. Across the Ganga, there is an enchanting place called Champakahata. Please stay there at least for 1 or 2 years. I will not come there of my own accord. Only if you wish me to come, will I go there and take darshan of your lotus feet." After hearing the words of the king, the great poet Jayadev agreed and immediately said, "Although you are a king and this kingdom is yours, you are a devotee of Krishna and you are not bound by the shackles of the material world. Like King Prataparudra in Puri, Mahaprabhu also was telling me he's a materialist to give us teaching that we should not associate. But here Jayadev also said you are a materialist, but he knows he's a real devotee, he has no attachment to that kingdom. So you are a devotee of Krishna and you are not bound by the shackles of the material world. I called you a materialist only to test you, and you tolerated my words, even though you are a king." So it means Trinada Pisunichana Tarora Pisahisna means he's a real Vaishnava. Otherwise, our ego will immediately protest. "Oh, you are a pure sadhu. By taking saffron cloth, you think you are sadhu. You have no desire for money and woman. I know like this." Our ego will immediately say. But king is a real devotee and Jayadev Goswami knows. "I have therefore understood that you are a pure devotee of Krishna." Pure devotee of Krishna has no false ego. So no revenge, no arguing, no these things. So we can check ourselves. "Although you are surrounded by worldly enjoyment, you are fully detached. I will live in Champakahata for some time. You can come secretly to see me, leaving behind your royal opulence." The joyful king ordered his ministers to have a suitable house constructed for Sri Jayadev in Champakahata. The poet Sri Jayadev stayed in that place for some time and performed Krishna bhajan according to the process of spontaneous devotion to Sri Krishna, Ragamark. So tomorrow we will hear what happened next here. So they were doing bhajan in Ragamark, Jayadev and Padmavati in Champahati.